Hey, beautiful, wonderful people, a pleasant afternoon to you. This is the third part of, you know, I would say maybe a series by the late, great, and the venerable, the esteemed Dr. Myles Munroe about leadership and mentorship. What is a leader, or who is a leader and who is not, who mentors and who does not. That's just the essence of it. And he says people don't reproduce leaders because they lack the power of letting go. They don't want to let go. And the reality is that none of us can hold on. We have to let go at some point. I never forgot, somebody told me of a particular, politician some years ago who had said, and this is somebody who is quite congenial, them have go wheelbarrow me out, but me nah move. Well, he may not have been literally wheelbarrowed out, so to speak, but he's 6'6". And that was a sad comment to make because of the angst and the insecurity that somebody may be better than me, somebody is going to take over, I will no longer be meaningful, and all the different fear factor or all the different fear components that come with those or that kind of ideology. Not understanding that, one, there will always be somebody to accomplish greater in the area of your speciality. There may be somebody who is better in the area of your speciality. But the difference is of a good leader and a bad leader is that they leave a legacy that will live on. Where moth and the canker worms will never eat. The problem with the poor leader is that self-worth is tied to their title. So if the title is removed, they're no longer worthy. And they're a victim of power as opposed to a victor because of power. Dr. Myles Munroe says that you have psychological problems when you're like that. You're demented because you can't let go. You hold on and on and on and not say, let me transition into something else. And sometimes you plateau and you're crashing down, you don't even realize. Saul was a perfect example. He was an ineffective leader. And God's Spirit didn't walk with him for 38 years out of the 40. So he led for 40 years. So-called led. And the Spirit of God wasn't with him for about 38 years of it. Leaders are not only reproduce effective leaders. When you're an effective leader, you reproduce other leaders. When you're good at something, you want to see greatness in it. As a singer, I like to sing with great singers, even if they're greater than I am, because I'm going to learn. You know what I'm saying? And when you're great, great attracts great. It's when it says iron sharpens iron. And you ensure that leaders are not only reproduced, they ensure that no leader around. Now let me get this. And what he was saying basically is that, an ineffective leader ensures that no leaders are around. So they do not train other people. They have to use other people because they can't do everything on their own. So what you find happening with an ineffective leader is that ineffective leader micromanages and overly criticizes. They deliberately seek out errors. They deliberately seek out mistakes and use it against the individual or use it against the people. And they'd use it through humiliation, through embarrassment, through condescending remarks, through tearing down. And these things, what they're doing, they're killing mentees. They're never ever a mentor. They have not even begun to scratch the surface of what being a mentor is, of what being a facilitator is, of what being a pro bono means, master teacher. It's not a spiritual word, it is a secular word. Master teacher. They have failed to actually emit that, to be a pro bono. Because of the perceived competition, they operate in such a manner. They feel that the person is going to be a competition to them and overthrow them and kick them out of what they have, dreamed of or worked, they say, hard for. They say they have worked hard for, or they've been in for quite a long time. Dr. Myles Munroe said that third world leaders have really never been trained. It has been colonial leaders made sure that they were never ever trained. They never trained the slaves. So what the slaves did was just to look at the poor leadership, learned the ways of the poor leadership. So colonial leaders made sure that they never trained the slaves. So the colonial leaders left because they say that, we were emancipated and, made free. But what ends up happening is that there were slaves who end up wearing crowns. So let me break that down. Untrained people who saw bad teaching, experienced bad treatment, minds got warped and thwarted, and crowns were now placed on their heads. They now took over. And woe to any land or any company or any home where there is an untrained slave who becomes king or queen. Mayhem, they're going to wreak havoc in the lives of their family, their friends, and those they encounter. An insecure person who becomes king or queen will wield his or her power even against his or her own family. They will annihilate them. They have no problems. They see a brother or a sister, auntie or an uncle or cousin get in the way, they get rid of you. Untrained, bad teaching, that's what they saw. That's what the colonial leaders taught them. You are no longer a problem, we get rid of you. You're like a sore, a cankerworm, we're getting rid of you. An entitlement spirit is actually among quite a number of them. Oh, I've been working here for many years. I deserve this because I've been here for years. As opposed to having the characteristics that are requisite for you being a very good leader. So, if you look in churches, God is perhaps not in agreement with many of the practices and the principles and the teachings that you see in the churches. And that is why you have that in-house fighting and wars for position and wars to be seen. That is why, because God is more than likely not walking with them. Because where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty, there is unity, there is harmony, and there is freedom. So you won't have that. Where God is, you can't do that. It's like, and that is what it means where it says unholiness can't face God. A lot of people think, oh, we can't go before God, we have to go through. No. If that were the case, we all would have been annihilated already. It's just talking about where the presence of God is. It's like evilness of a run. It has to take its flight. It's like the man who was giving a testimony about this pastor in one of those African countries. And the people who practice occultism or be a witchcraft, whatnot, they had to take away themselves. They have to move out. And even after about 21 days after that pastor would have left, before they could come back, because if they stayed, they would have died. That's how powerful the Spirit of God was upon that man. And them, the devil spirit, demonic spirit, they couldn't match it. Could not. Even if it's a legion, it could match it. A wise leader trains others so they can take over, and that leader moves on to the next level. Dr. Myles Munroe said, plan your next position. Now, always live beyond your position. Stop worrying about who is going to take over or who is going to be better than. Nothing is wrong with that. And if you train them and they become better, that means that you are wonderful. You are an asset. People are going to want you, because everywhere you go, you're making waves. You're making waves. If everywhere you go, they become better than you, it means that you're making waves. You're gold. It's like when they say gold, frankincense, and myrrh, onyx, rubies, emeralds. That is who you are, but you're not seeing that. Your insecurity is blinding that. What you're thinking is that I feel less than because that person is going to take over. That person has taken over and better than I am. No. If you train them, you have left a legacy. Because automatically your name will be called. God will not forget that's written in heaven, and it will be written on earth. As it is in heaven, so as it is here, it is as it is in heaven, it is on earth. But many people are going to die without a legacy. Their names are going to be cancelled out because they have been ineffective, poor, bad, the worst kind of leaders. They never led well. They never led properly. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions. Thank you.